What's going on, guys? In this video I want to talk about the best way I think you should go about losing fat. So what do I think you can do for some serious fat loss, guys? Check it out. Okay guys, I have a long history in fitness, and I'm not going to go into the beginning of my journey because that's over 20 years ago when I was obese initially and had some health issues that came up, and I had to take my fitness and my health seriously and make some changes. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but I'm going to go into a recent bout with some weight gain that I had about a year and a half ago. Oh, actually, yeah, about a year and a half ago during isolation. So I want to talk about that specifically because although my weight has fluctuated here, slightly in the last 20 years, I really didn't have any massive issues with serious weight gain, or actually it wasn't even weight gain. I would say it was more fat gain until isolation hit. Pre-COVID, pre-isolation, I was in the best shape of my life. I had turned 40 and I was determined to be just the best in the best shape I'd ever been at 40, and I was. My wife and I both were on this journey, and we through intermittent fasting and just my regular martial arts training and strength conditioning routines, I was just the leanest, almost too lean actually. I got really lean and skinny, and so I wanted to put more mass back on my body. But I was just in this phenomenal shape. Isolation hits, and I don't really think about it at first. I took up cooking. I fell in love with cooking at home and just decided that was the best way to go. Obviously, you couldn't go anywhere, and now I've continued on that journey and just become a pretty good cook, and I love it, and we've saved a lot of money going that route. But being at home and cooking 3 meals a day, being at home all day, I just didn't realize the amount of calories I was taking in and what it was doing to my body, because I was ignorant to that, given the fact that my workout routine, I felt, was still very consistent and very intense. I didn't quite feel the weight coming on, because again, I was just I was continuing to do my strength conditioning. I had to close my school for a couple months, so I wasn't getting my martial arts training in, my combat sports training. I was doing some boxing in my garage, but I was outside doing a lot of my cardio, and I was just doing a lot of strength and conditioning. So I still felt strong and I still felt conditioned, and I just didn't feel the weight slowly coming on. By the time I noticed it in a video my wife had taken of me working out at a park with my shirt off, I had gained 20 pounds. So I flipped out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna melt that weight real fast, because it had always been easy for me to drop 10, 15, even 20 pounds when I needed to. There was a lot of factors. There was the new way I was eating. There was my new age. I was in my 40s now. Just a lot of factors I didn't consider, and it just wasn't coming off at all. On top of that, I kind of freaked out and just worked out even more. I didn't have anything to do besides, cook, so I was working out more and getting stronger. And then my shoulders and my upper body started to get really big and strong. So with a shirt on, it didn't realize that I was gaining a lot of body fat around my waist and on my back, especially my love handles. Even on the rare occasion that I ran into somebody or somebody came over, they would point out that my upper body, that I was getting really big. So I convinced myself, okay, I'm getting my body back. It must be working. But again, I saw a video of my daughter and I kind of hanging out and playing outside, and I noticed the tire around my waist. Then I finally checked my body fat, and yeah, I put on some muscle, but now I was just this body fat, all this fat was just sticking to me. What the hell was going on? I had reduced my calories by half, and I was trying to get back into fasting. I wasn't having a lot of success with that, intermittent fasting, excuse me, but I had dropped my calories significantly. What I had done was I dropped my calories too much, and I had upped my workout routine. So then the weeks I was trying to lose weight, I ended up with calorie adaptation. So here I am with this belly fat that I just hadn't had to deal with in years, like almost 2 decades, and it just wasn't coming off. So again, I was like, okay, the things I used to do aren't going to work. My wife mentioned to me that I needed to do some reverse dieting because I may have gone way too far down on my calories, and that's a mistake that a lot of people make. So I went back up on my calories to about 3,000, a little over 3,000 calories, and maintained the same workout routine. So we start to slowly open the gym back up, start getting students and clients back in. Jennifer and I start training together. I start getting my martial arts training back on schedule. Start doing the Muay Thai, and hadn't done the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yet. That was too much contact. So slowly integrate that back in. Adjust the workouts a little bit as my wife and I get back into our gym and getting the training. And then for a while I was up at that high calorie, and then slowly shift the calories off of the top. And then finally the weight started to melt away. About 6 weeks later, I dropped the 20 pounds of soft I had put on, and my physique, was back to where I like it to be. That was an odd journey for me because it had always been for the last 20 years pretty easy for me. If I put on 10 pounds, man, I could just drop that within a week or two. I trained so much. But what I came to realize was I was doing all kinds of extra cardio. I took up running again, which was very painful for me. Doing things outside, started jumping rope. I started doing a lot of additional cardio thinking that was going to melt the body fat, and it just wasn't working, and I don't know why. Finally, I realized when I got back to the martial arts training, the Muay Thai training, the boxing training, and then finally the grappling, along with my strength and conditioning, the weight just fell away. So the martial arts training, the combat sports training is what works best for me. As far as, man, when I train like that, when I'm consistent in my grappling, consistent in my Muay Thai, I can't keep weight on my body. So I submit to you that maybe you should consider taking up a form of martial arts or combat sports training, even the cardio versions of that, cardio boxing, cardio kickboxing. Not only are they fun, they will just help with your mind as far as having to learn something new. And that just, there's so many studies as far as like increasing our brain power, keeping our brain sharp, and just keeping us young. Beyond that, you show up to something like that and you get told what to do, and you just have to follow the instructions, and you do what they tell you to do, and you have a great workout, you learn some skills, you have a good time training, and you just burn, man. You just lose that fat, you lose that weight. This is not a catch-all, okay? It just seems to work for me. Even for a little bit, whenever I do step away from grappling and just focus on, just my striking and my strength and conditioning, I have to be careful. I have to kind of watch my calories a little more. But when I'm doing both, when I'm doing my BJJ and I'm doing my Muay Thai, I'm telling you, I can't keep weight on. The calories they just burn. It's not for everyone, I get it. But I'd like to just open your mind to it. So if you've been considering it, or if you're looking for a way to lose weight and you don't want to go run and you don't want to do the other means of cardio that you don't find interesting, maybe you should consider these things. Okay guys, thank you for watching the video. As always, we appreciate your support. So please be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, keep fighting for fit, no excuses, and we'll see you in the next video.